What's up, people? We're back down the track. An amazing game of cricket, heartbreaking for me, and very happy. I have a very happy Delhi fan with me, a happy CSK fan, and a Mumbai fan who's completely neutral. What's up, guys? How are you? Vinay, first of all, congratulations, and screw you, man. You guys won.
No, man, it was an amazing game. I wouldn't say that there was a clear winner or anything. It was just an amazing game, and really enjoyed the game itself. So, uh, good job on the IPL game itself. But yes, Delhi won, so I'm
Yeah, I
happy
mean,
about that.
credit to Delhi in the end. I think they bowled really well in the super over, but I'm proud of my team in a way. But I know there'll be a lot of criticism coming my way. Before that, Kumi, how are you doing?
Good, Musti. Thank you. Thank you for having me on this again.
No, we're gonna talk about Chennai very soon. But firstly, your quick thoughts on the game. I know you have a different point of view, but what did you think about the match?
I thought it was a mediocre game of cricket. Obviously, it seems exciting because it's going to Super Over. But in my opinion, I think Sunrisers is missing a trick on chasing scores down. I think the way Williamson showed that if you adapt, then you can score. But there's so much talent, especially the Indian talent, have to step up. Whenever Manish Pandey, Shankar, and Kedar Jadhav get a chance to play, and they've been middle order in the World Cup squad, they should be finishing games. And they've got plenty of chances by now, and they haven't done it. So I was pretty disappointed from that vantage point.
Yeah, and Punter, what's up, man?
What's up? What's up? Good game of cricket.
Yeah, what I wanted to ask you is, I mean, like I understand Kumi's point of view and where he's coming from, but at one stage, we've seen the Chennai track. You've seen it consistently. Anything above 150 is actually very difficult to chase for any team. We saw KKR also, a few times struggle on this pitch. But your thoughts initially on how Sunrisers got back into the game and Kane Williamson, and then your overall thoughts on the game.
Well, today I thought that it was a completely different wicket. Yes, it was better for batting, but there was some turn for the spinners. But unfortunate for SRH not crossing the line in the game itself. Amazing batting by Kane Williamson. We've kept talking about him throughout the series. Get Anna in, and SRH has a chance. And we've seen the way he's batting today also. He was totally drenched. I don't know how he was putting out the heat of Chennai. But the way he batted was amazing. Special knock by Besto again. The way he is in form, especially what Aksar did to him in the Test series. I thought he would be like defending him from ball one, but the first shot he announced himself against Aksar that I don't get scared of bowlers like you, and the way he batted was amazing again. Warner really disappointed with him, especially after the short run, but.
There's some issue with his running, man. He got run out also in the beginning. I don't know what the hell he's doing. The second time.
In fact, you see. Yeah, sorry, go ahead.
So go ahead.
If you see. You go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, no. Kumi, go for it. Go for it.
Kumi, go first.
I was going to say, I'm surprised about the decision of who they sent for the Super Over. Bairstow, I saw a stat, 90% of his runs are scored in boundaries. Exactly. I mean, come on, that should be the stat itself to just put it into the Super Over, right? And especially as he was striking it today, I thought, look, Williamson, no doubt, he's been in form and all that, but at the same time, he was gassed. In my opinion, I would have gone with Bairstow and Warner for the Super Over. That should have been the choice. I thought Sunrisers missed out a trick there.
Big one.
Yeah.
Hunter, you'd go Warner and Bairstow, or you'd go Williamson and Bairstow?
100% Bairstow in there. I don't care if it's Warner or Williamson with him, but Bairstow definitely and taking the strike.
And yeah, Vinny, you were saying something?
I was gonna say the same thing. Like Bairstow should have come in. Like why Warner? Like I understand he wanted to try like a left and right combo, right? And he wanted to have that thing where the bowlers can get iffy in lines based on the left and right combo. But at the same time, you don't take a chance when it's a super over, right? You're not in form. You cannot get in form in a super over, right? That's not a place where you actually try those things out. You have to go with your tried and tested players who are actually hitting the ball and seeing the ball much better than you, right? So it was kind of a selfish decision, I would say, in that sense. But I wouldn't agree with the left and right combo if that's what he was trying to go with.
I would have just gone Suchit and Williamson. They're batting so well. Let them continue. I think they, just let them continue and finish it off. But
Yeah, Suchit was much better option than Warner at this point, to be
yeah,
honest.
but to be honest, I don't know what you guys think. Vinay, I'll go to you first. At one stage, I felt Delhi were completely on top. Especially, you saw the turn as well. They were getting, they were showing some measurement on the TV. Like they were getting like
Ashwin.
three, yeah, 3.0, whereas Sunrise
Kevin.
getting 2.0. Yeah,
Yeah.
so the deviation of the pitch and the turn and everything was much more. So despite all that, the Williamson's innings and Suchit, the way they brought the game, that would have been a bit surprising for you, right? Especially Rabada, the way he got hit, because at one stage I felt that it was very difficult to bat on this pitch, and I
Yeah.
don't think they would have gone through if it wasn't for Williamson and that cameo in the end.
Williamson's played really smart today. Like, to be honest, he knew that the pitch was turning. He wasn't going for risky shots on spinners and not trying to scoop them or anything. Like, he was playing to the merit and trying reverse sweep and stuff, which was effective on this pitch, right? It was a slowish pitch and everything. But then he knew for a fact once he gets that pace, he's gonna smack them out and stuff too. He was prepared for it. So last 2 overs, the way Avesh came in the first 4 balls was good, but the last 2 balls, I think he should have bowled better. Like that short ball and stuff. Like you're bowling to a batsman, bowl full and outside, right? Like stick to your basics. Don't try a new thing at that point, right? When it becomes an easy ball if it doesn't bounce that much and everything. So that
I
was
don't
one thing that he did wrong. He did wrong in that over, but the way Kane and Suchit actually brought it back and brought it to super over was amazing. It was commendable to actually bring it to that level because it wasn't expected that they will bring it this close, but yeah, they brought it really close and we saw the super over there.
Yeah, Kumi, Ashish is asking, why is Johnny throwing his wicket after scoring boundaries? Need to play smart by rotating after scoring boundaries.
Yes, absolutely. I thought so. He was striking the ball clean, and especially on this tonight track, if you're set in, then you like Williamson, you should have just carried a bit more responsibly. That being said, man, I want to call something out for SRH. Let's take one innings back. They're fielding pathetic. They shouldn't.
Yep.
Like Delhi shouldn't even have gotten to that score.
Absolutely.
Easy catches in their hands, and like I hate to point this out, man. When I see Indian national team players like Ahmed, right? Like whatever that.
Khalil Ahmed, yeah.
Khalil.
Yeah.
I mean, easy catch like Rishabh Pant, and he just gave him the momentum. Like in the end, both in fielding as well as in batting, SRH is just not able to finish that. Man. It's sad to see that, in my opinion.
I honestly agree with you in that part. For me, they lost the game in the field again, and every game they're losing it in the field. Because if you look at their batting, they're almost on par with the other team. I know it looks really bad in the middle, but I think for me, it's the bowling and the fielding, particularly these key moments where they're letting go of boundaries, the dropping catches. I think it's been an issue in every single game. Yes, Punter.
I just wanted to say to Vinay's point of Rabada's bowling that I don't agree with him because from
When do you ever agree with him, man?
ball one he was bowling the slower bouncers, so it wasn't a pitch to bowl quick at all. So definitely it was a game plan by the management and the entire team to bowl the slower balls in the depth. So he was actually following the game plan, and Suchit got it right in the middle of the bat. So it's unfortunate for him, but it's nothing like that.
I honestly felt that
He's an ex-Mumbai Indian player, so that's thank you for SRH Roman.
Yeah, thank you. He's world class, man. Today, the way he batted, but
He's an ex-Delhi player also, by the way.
But to that point about Rabada, Kumi, to be honest, I thought that the ball that he got hit for six was a bit quicker. When he bowled it slower, it actually gripped and he beat the batsman on 2-3 occasions the last few balls. But the ball which he did get hit, he got hit for six, and Pant also told him, "Yo, you need to do this. You need to slow it down."
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know if you guys noticed, this is something the commentators were mentioning. Kane Williamson as well, when the innings finished and then the super over was done, he was pointing out to the shorter boundary for the left-hander, and he was saying that's actually primarily the reason why Warner was thinking left and right, because Kane Williamson was saying short boundary. That's why, Vinay, to your point, like the left and right, that's why it influenced the left and right combo. And he was mentioning why Suchit was able to connect, right? Like he was mentioning that it's a shorter boundary and That's essentially primary reason. And look, I'm not gonna read between the lines for Rabada's bowling. He did miss a trick on this wicket. Like he should have slowed it down and to pace, especially when he saw Avesh Khan getting it done right, like the previous over. But that being said, man, he's a class act. I just think that Sunrisers lost this game themselves. Like it wasn't like Delhi actually were outstanding. I think it's the Sunrisers missing the trick on Chase.
Yeah.
But
hard.
That's completely your opinion.
That's perfectly honest.
Yeah, that's I mean completely opinion. I look at it a different way, but like that's completely your opinion. Punter, Rabada, though this is the second time he's got smashed against Rajasthan. Also same issue. Unatkat hit him, and now Suchit, even Morris also hit him for a few sixes. So is there worrying signs for Delhi over there?
I don't think so because now they move on to Ahmedabad. It'll be a quicker pitch. I think Nortgate will also come in instead of Smith, maybe, or maybe Hetmeyer. You never know. So I think they should stick with Rabada. Not so much of concern. He is. If you see, it wasn't a Pacers wicket, and still he got 3 overs for 12 or 13 runs in the first 3 overs, except for the last over. So he's bowling pretty decent. I actually wanted to make a point about Kane Williamson in the last over. If you see, I think past 3-4 games we've seen Samson not running and giving Morris the strike. Kane Williamson ran 2 runs in the last over after being in a form and trusting his partners. He knows that single is so important in the last over. Is so highly recommendable to all the teams that they should follow this. By not taking that extra run will always choke you in the end. So hats off to Kane Williamson, trusting in his partner, taking that bye. I don't think so. Any other batsman who would be in form would have taken that bye.
Yeah,
they wouldn't have. They wouldn't.
Yeah.
I think there was one more game. Not even Samson. There was one more game recently who did not take a Russell. Russell did not take a single for the entire over with Bhaji on the non-striker end. And
that's a great point. Yeah.
Mohammad Siraj ended up giving only 1 run in that over, which turned the game completely. So this is something very important for all the players throughout the series. Trust in your partners, take that single. You never know that 1 run will make so much change.
That's a great point because if he hogged the strike in the last over, they might not even have reached the score over. Suchit would have never hit that 6. So exactly. I think that's a great point because he was already tired, Williamson, and you could see in the last few deliveries as well. Even after that 6, he just couldn't connect, and you could see that fatigue. And Suchit took that pressure off, and credit to him. I think that's a great point. Vinay, Ashish is saying young lad Avesh Khan picking wickets on a spinning track, good prospect for Indian cricket. Ashish is on your side today, man. The whole time he's bantering me and and you guys are picking the same players as well in your fantasy, so it's good to see you bonding.
Of course you're gonna say that after planning in every single game with them. Definitely this season has been a revelation, right, for Delhi. He's been bowling amazing lines and actually bowling intelligently more than anything else, right? He's understanding the wicket better, and he's gaining that experience actually and picking those wickets at crucial moments. And he's not bowling like I won't say it's the best of lines, but he's bowling intelligently, mixing the pace up and actually bowling to his strength rather than actually relying on the batsman to go for it or anything, right? So that's something that he's doing really well, and it's giving him all the rewards that he's actually getting.
Yeah. And also, how much would you credit Rishabh Pant for because he's played with him in the under-19 team? No, I'm just saying with Avesh Khan. With the other things, there are issues with his captaincy, but just with the way he's handled Avesh Khan.
See, it's a team call, right? It's not just a Pant's call at that point. It's a team call that he is growing in confidence. He's bowling well in the nets. He's picking those wickets in the games, and he's bowling intelligently and everything. So I won't completely say it's just Pant's call, but he is handling him well, and he's trusting him. Like every team, if you see, the 19th over is the most important over of an innings, right? And he's trusting Avesh Khan with that responsibility now because he's been bowling that well. So definitely it's something that he's actually grown in stature, and definitely looking forward to him getting more experience now.
Yeah, 100%. You guys, any last thoughts? If you want to ask me any questions, you can ask, and then we can move on to the next game.
Oh, I was going to say one thing about this one. Again, I want to give a shout out to Dhoni here. The reason why is because, you guys saw in the last over what Rishabh Pant was trying to do when he was hitting the stump.
Yeah.
It makes you show how hard that skill is. Even if you take it out, it's not that easy to just hit the stump. And you got to consider how accurate MS is whenever he hits that, right? So he did it time and time again. Just want to call that out and let people know how hard that skill is. And today we saw like that skill being just put to test with Rishabh.
Right.
Yeah, no,
Kumi, do you think he should have removed one glove and kept aside?
He did that. He did that.
He did that.
Yeah, he did that.
Regardless, man. I think where he's missing the trick is he's the distance from the stumps. I think it's a little further back.
More further, yeah.
If you guys saw the show where Parthiv Patel actually explained what was going wrong with KL Rahul and Rishabh Pant's keeping style, there was a show and then where he said that both Pant and Rahul are taking them below the knees, which is kind of screwing their. Anyways, but mostly we can move on to the next game. I think, look, tough loss for SRH. They're a quality side. Like I called out in the beginning of the season, I think they're top heavy and they need to do something to change that. And the only thing that they can do is have their middle order produce. And Jadhav, Pandey, and Shankar have to produce. They're quality players, but they're not living up to the mark. That's it, man.
Yeah, no, 100%. Punter, any last thoughts? Any questions?
What do you think? Where is SRH going from here?
There's only one out of Chennai. Finally, man, that's where we're going. I'm tired of these. I'm tired of these pitches, man. 140, 150. Huh?
Why don't you introduce Holder in the middle? Musti, Holder did the trick for you guys. Maybe introducing Holder. That might change the.
Whom are you going to remove? Whom are you going to remove?
True. But I'm just saying, like, you asked.
If I look at it, if I just flip like the same argument that Kumi has, I just flip it around and I say that they've lost very close games. Yes, they've made mistakes and everything. Today was the closest of them all, and I feel that yes, they've played some bad cricket, but it shows that they can win games. It's not like they're kind of team. They're not the whipping boys. Although the table suggests that the whipping boys, every game has shown that they can fight. But at the same time, they're making mistakes. So it's just getting across the line. And it's the fine margins. It's the taking those catches, not doing the short runs, fielding well, running well between the wickets. You have to do the basics right, and then everything will. After a couple of wins, you'll get that confidence back. And yeah, it's another couple of losses in this season might be a write-off, but you still have to back the team. So that's how I'm looking at it right now. And I'm not too disappointed because today I actually felt it was a really good game of cricket, even though we made mistakes. I thought we fought well in the end. I thought it was over in the 15th over, but then switches surprised me. But
one thing I was really impressed with on Delhi side today was actually two things. One was Rishabh Pant. The way he was running between the wickets. He's worked on his fitness, right? He wasn't this agile running between the wickets, and he was running those twos quite comfortably today compared to the earlier days where he used to play and stuff. That and Akshar Patel coming back from that injury and COVID and everything. Like he still has that confidence that he had in the test matches, and that's how confident he was bowling today. And getting that super over is again showing that show of confidence on him, right? So definitely shout out to those two players today.
Yeah, for sure. And then just moving on to the first game of the day, it was the Ravindra Jadeja show, like outstanding all-round performance. I don't think I've seen a performance like this in the IPL, maybe ever, like in terms of batting, bowling, and fielding contribution. Kumi, your thoughts on this game?
Yeah, man. What can we say? I think CSK is looking the team like it usually is always. I think everyone is loving their cricket, enjoying their cricket. It's a good balanced side, good mix of experience and the young talent. Like I love MS backing Gaikwad. Like it's so good. I know in a couple of shows ago I said if it's not working out, maybe it's time for him to bring in Uthappa. But I mean he did it. He backed him up. I think he even made a comment about it in one of the interviews where he said, he had a chat with Gaikwad and he said, "Are you feeling confident?" And Gaikwad said yes, and he backed him. Right. So I think kudos to MS on that. Holy shit, man! Like fast, back-to-back 50s, looking strong. What I like that I'm seeing is every batsman that comes out they're aiming strike rate like 100 close to 150, right? If you see, and that's what's doing the trick for Chennai in racking up these totals. And what I'm happy about is their improvement in bowling. Yeah. Historically, their batting has always been nice. They were always score the 200s, but their bowling was the one that was always under the pump. But I'm liking that change this year, where they're able to close the games off with huge margins of wins, which that's what's special for me as a CSK fan.
Yeah, and also, Punter, their batting lineup is as such, they can actually go at 150 without any issues. Everyone just can come in and keep hitting because they're batting till 10, 11. Bravo's coming at like 10, Thakur's coming at like 9, 11. I don't know what's happening, but it's they have so many all-rounders. And I think Moeen Ali, even though he didn't play today, his addition has been great for them. He's added balance, and he's been that, like, that middle order batsman where he separates Faf, the top order, and the lower order, and takes the pressure off the likes of Dhoni, Jadeja, and Sam Curran as well. So your thoughts on CSK and their batting?
Firstly, again, hats off to MS, the way he read the pitch. Virat actually dropped a spinner and got a pacer in, whereas Dhoni didn't have a player like Moeen Ali missing out, and he gets Imran Tahir in. So it's something, and he left Lungi out and got Bravo back in for a slow pace. So hats off to that guy. I don't know anyone can ever reach his level of thinking in cricket. Virat should just sit with him. The T20 World Cup is coming. I think MS should be there on the ground in the management for Indian cricket team to read all the pitches, especially it's being played in India. So real.
But having said that, last season they were completely poor. Like, they came 8th place with the same captain, same everything. So what is it different this time? Because it was the same captain, same guy. So, like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to, like, I completely understand what you're saying, but it's the same captain who came 8th, and now he's proving a championship like the old MS Dhoni. So it shows that he hasn't lost it. But what's different this season?
So that's what I'm saying. Like, for example, if CSK in last season to this season have backed each and every player. If it was RCB, all these players would have been out, and you would have seen a revamping of the entire team. So you see the thinking of the captaincy of MS Dhoni. He knows his players. He knows how they're going to behave. It was unfortunate that none of them worked in Dubai, where Dubai was something where we thought CSK would do better. But even after not doing better, they didn't let themselves down. They got up, and you see they're on top of the table now. And it's not an easy thing. It's not an overnight thing. You have to keep in trust with your players. You have Jadeja, Raina, and Dhoni since day one in Chennai. You have Bravo now. He's the key player for Chennai. And now they are supporting Faf and Gaikwad since so long. As Kumi said, we thought after the 5th game, Gaikwad is gone. And still supporting a player like Gaikwad. And you see on the other hand side, RCB, you have Shabaz Ahmed, who takes 3 wickets and it's like a game changer for RCB. He makes you win the game. He doesn't bowl for the next 2 games, and then he's dropped. So how would a youngster like him feel? Like, what did I do wrong? So you need to understand such things. In basic cricket terms, is like, if a guy is performing, you always back him. If a guy is not performing, you try and back him and help him to get out of it. But if you're performing and you get let out, it's like why the hell am I playing? I should go in a different game. The thinking changes. Yakum, go ahead.
Sorry, I was going to say that's a good question, because I want to answer that question to Musti. I think, to be honest, for MS, it's like playing chess, right? He needs a 14-man squad, right? Last year, the thing is, you have to know, Raina is, man, you guys know, it's like the biggest piece of the puzzle for him.
Exactly.
Not having Raina just immediately already put him on the back foot. Second, I'll tell you this right now. He really needs an off spinner in the squad. He's always had a quality off spinner. Missing Bhaji did the trick again for him, right? The thing about MS is he likes keeping it pretty simple, right? Like to Punter's point, he reads the wicket. If there is lefty, he likes bringing on an off spinner, taking those wickets, putting the pressure. So a lot of the balance was missed out, Musti, last year, right? Like, so that's where he struggled, like, really operating. And then look, Bravo in one of the games, CSK was on top, and then Bravo was supposed to bowl the last over, and then Bravo got injured, right? And he was out for the entire season. But then Jadeja had to bowl the last over, and he tried his best, but then he got hit backside, right? Things like this threw him off, but this time around, he has the full squad. COVID didn't impact anything, thankfully, right? And that's the difference, mostly.
Also, I felt that towards the end of last season, he already started preparing. I think that's when I knew that he's going to be serious this season because he promoted Pandra was talking about Gaikwad, right? Gaikwad, Sam Curran, these guys were all promoted last season after they lost the 5-6 games. After that, he gave Sam Curran, he sent him one down. He gave him like 4 overs every game. With Gaikwad, he opened the batting. He won games in the end. Chennai were playing spoil sport for a lot of teams last season in the end. And Dhoni realized that he can't just go with the dad's army. He has to mix it up. And he started that trend, I think, towards the end of last season. I think that's where he got it. Vinay, you've been quiet for a long time. I need to ask you something. Sorry, Punter, he's been very quiet, man. Vinay, the nation wants to know when things get a bit stressed out, why do Virat Kohli, AB, these guys panic? Harshal Patel getting hit for a couple of sixes. I didn't see them go and communicate with them. That's where the game changed. For you guys, it might be something different. It did spin a lot, the track in the second innings, but still, I think 160 would have been chaseable. But that last over was the turning point. Your thoughts?
It's every captain. For every captain, it's actually very important to communicate with your bowler and the team as well, right? If your bowler is actually getting hit or anything, give him that confidence.
Was he communicating, in your opinion?
He wasn't. He wasn't communicating that well. Like, you can't just because you're getting hit, you can't show that precision. You have to back your bowler up, like whatever it is, right? Like always, it's a captain's responsibility to take the team through. It's not. I won't say it's a bad captaincy or anything. He has been that kind of a captain all his time, but he might have to change at certain times where these kind of things actually happen, right? So you see that with Dhoni, right? Like remember that game in 2007, Joginder Sharma. First ball, he gets hit for that 4, and then he bowls a wide. Dhoni immediately runs, even though he's a keeper, and he runs immediately, right, to the bowler and backs him and gives him that confidence and everything. That is very much essential for every bowler to actually get that confidence that your team is backing you up, and the person who actually does that is the captain, right? So he should have definitely done that. Maybe his style of captaincy is different, but definitely one thing he should have done.
But I have a different perspective question, playing devil's advocate, because everyone, I also understand Virat Kohli, his weaknesses as captain, his strengths. And I honestly felt today like he did get it wrong for sure, 100%. And what you said about Shahbaz Ahmed, that's also bang on. But his Superman and Robin, AB de Villiers, I need to ask you about him. He's a mature player. He's played for so long. But I see Faf much more calmer and a better sideman to Dhoni. Even though Dhoni does everything, I honestly feel Faf du Plessis is a good right-hand man. AB de Villiers gets even more nervous. He just doesn't show it. And I've seen that in the World Cup when he was captain as well against New Zealand. He does get more nervous. So does that help? What are your thoughts on that? Because it's a different way to look at it. No one really talks about that because the limelight is on Kohli, and why not? But yeah, your thoughts on that?
See, I think it always depends on the batsman's nature, like the person's nature. For AB, we've always seen if he's middling the ball, he's more calmer and more composed. If he's not, he's struggling. He tries to go look for those singles. He tries to make singles. Today was a pitch which did not suit him at all.
No, but I'm asking about when he's on the field.
On the field, if you see, I thought when Harshal was getting hit, it wasn't Virat, but AB was coming, at least talking to Harshal. He was trying to calm him down. So you see, there is some maturity level there with AB rather than Virat. So I don't think so that AB is someone who gets into panic mode completely and that easily. But yes, he lacks that confidence when he's in his batting, when he's not timing the ball.
Yeah, I mean, that was just like a one-off. Like batting, I'm not going to question him. I know that he'll come the next day and prove me.
Even today, if you actually, so I'm going to go back to the Delhi game. If you saw just before the super over, right? There was Steve Smith and Ashwin were talking to each other.
That's what I'm talking about.
Giving suggestions. They were giving suggestions to Pant, and Pant went and spoke to Akshay, right? Before bowling that over itself. So, like, these kind of things actually help the bowler a lot when someone actually from the team backs you up, and they're not like the captain or the vice captain of the team or anything too. but they, being the senior players and everything, they come together and actually help them out. So, which is very important and essential for any team.
But then
Yeah,
Virat, the boundary is always difficult for him to continuously coming and talking to the bowler. I do
Of
think
course,
he should be inside the circle in such situations.
yeah.
Vinay, sorry, Kumi, your thoughts are tactically, AB and Kohli. I mean, they're great batsmen, but tactically, I have a feel like I don't know. I feel both of them are not right. They're not sharp enough tactically. Your thoughts on captaincy and like tactics as well for this game, especially.
Yeah. So one point we shouldn't forget is let's not forget that they're unbeaten so far, right?
Yeah.
They lost, so let's not forget that. Obviously, yeah, you're not going to compare anyone to MS, right? From a tactic and strategy standpoint. The thing where I feel Kohli misses a trick in leading and captaincy is that he expects perfection from everyone. And if he doesn't get the perfection, then he shows the frustration, right? And he thinks that showing the frustration and letting the emotions out is good for him. But at the same time, he needs to realize what kind of impact does that leave for the other player. I've said this in the past too, right?
Exactly.
There are some that feed off your energy. There are some that feed off your anger and frustration, but there are some that just don't. So he needs to understand and realize
That's
what
a very
is
good point.
exactly. He needs to understand and realize what dynamics are being played. So in a situation where Patel, like Harshal Patel, is getting smacked for sixes, like a player like MS would have slowed the momentum down, calmed the nerves, and like soaked in the pressure himself. Whereas on the other side, like to your point, like same thing, AB he's much more calmer than Kohli, but he feeds off of Virat's energy, right? So
Yeah.
you have to understand what works and what doesn't. So look, I'm gonna say RCB is looking like a quality set this season. I feel like they've figured out something. I don't want to read too much between the lines in their performance today, but that being said, I agree with you, Musti. Like, if you compare,
I'll tell you why I'm saying that to you in particular. Why I'm saying this is because in 2016 I thought they were in much better form than this when Virat Kohli hit 900 runs. I think I mentioned this to Punter as well. He was in crazy form. They had Gale, AB. They reached the finals, and I know it's a one game, but since then till now we've seen a lot of games like this. And I know it's just one game again this season, but like it might cost them later on in the tournament. That's why I'm bringing up this point right now. I can be completely wrong. They can go now unbeaten and win the tournament, but we've seen it in the past happen when they're playing good. There's a few errors in the field and they lose a match and it costs them the tournament.
no, you're right. There's probably that South African.
It's a mix. You know where I'm going now. That's the point I wanted to bring up. Basically, him and Kohli. But yeah, like it's very early to say now. Punter, any other thoughts?
I actually wanted to ask Kumi. Kumi, do you think Virat lacks the captaincy as a bowler? Because we've seen MS Dhoni, he understands bowling as well and batting as well and the field placement. Virat, I don't think so. He's bad with field placements and the batting side, but he lacks captaincy in bowling. Like, for example, in other teams, they have a special bowler. And even in Indian team, he has like a Bumrah or Bhuvi who's guiding continuously to the young bowlers and helping them out and takes the pressure out of Virat Kohli. But Virat Kohli and AB, I don't think have like a strong bowler in their team who can guide different bowlers and make them understand what this pitch is doing and how is it doing, how you can bowl better.
No, you have a good point, but here's what I think so. So look, when you're a captain, some decisions are gonna go your way, some are not, right? So you have to in the game. I'm not talking about after the game. After the game, everyone is off the field and the pressure is off. Everyone can reflect, right? But in the what MS does well is he does think about the decision that he made and he pivots. The pivoting skill is what I think Virat lacks, in my opinion. He doesn't know how to the change, right? Like he doesn't know how to change and adapt. That's where I think he can learn a lot from MS, to your point. But and he tries to stick to the routine that the coaching staff and him decided pre-game. Whereas MS, he backs his decisions and he backs his wrong decisions too, right?
Absolutely.
And he has the confidence of, okay, he does something weird like giving Joginder Sharma last over in the finals, and then somehow he just comes up top. Mohit Sharma, mediocre medium pacer. He somehow backs him and makes India wins games, right? And CSK win games. I think that's the trick is you have to back your bad decisions, and you win some, you lose some. And then Kohli, I think in game misses that trick where you have to think outside the box and really make it work.
And also, I feel as a player, you just have to understand that this guy is like this, and you focus on your goals. Because I'll tell you just my example. When I play under Ashish, he's a very aggressive captain. I know when I play under him or Punter, they're both great captains, but they both have different facial expressions. Ashish is more, critical, more into the game, more emotional. Punter has a straight face like Dhoni. So, but for me, as a player, my performance doesn't change because I know the captain is like that. You know what I mean? So it doesn't affect my performance. I'm still going to play. I'll get smashed under Punter, get smashed under Ashish. I'll continually get, but I'm consistent. You know what I mean? So it doesn't affect me as a bowler. It doesn't affect my plan. So I think players should adjust as well. Vinay, your thoughts?
No, definitely players should adjust and everything, right? But at the same point, to Punter's point, right, about having a senior bowler to guide your bowlers in the team, that's actually very essential. When you have that kind of a person in your team, right, he gives you that experience, and even though he might not be bowling well that day, but he still gives you that experience that might help the bowler itself. And it is definitely a really good thing that every other team has that kind of a role model in the team in terms of a bowler, senior bowler and stuff. But RCB doesn't have that. They are lacking in that sense, but they have a good bowling side. Like the youngsters are coming up and they're bowling decent lines and everything. So, like Harshal Patel, yes, he had a bad day today, but he is the purple cap holder. Let's not take that away from him, right? Picking
So
15 wickets in 5 games.
sorry, I have one thing, Mushi, I want to say. So look, Dan Christian, man, he's a champion player. He's won
Yeah.
several DBL, several thing. He should be that senior, like to your point, Mushi. He can be that senior person who can guide the bowlers. But again,
Exactly.
Kohli has to be the person that should initiate those kind of
Yeah.
connections during the pressure situation, in my opinion. So I think that's where Kohli, man, misses it for me as a captain. And I've called this out like in the beginning of the season too, right? So
Yeah. No, I mean, like Kumi said, we don't need to be too critical because they won 4 games. At the same time, we have to be critical because of their past. So it's just a mix right now, how you look at it. Another couple of games like this, then there will be questions. But yeah, any final thoughts? Kumi, if you need to leave, you can leave. Sorry, I took a lot of your time, but we'll just quickly preview tomorrow's game. Yeah?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Today's weekend.
Yeah. Okay, perfect. Yeah, that's sorry, I took your time. Punter, yeah, last thoughts on this game.
See, again, as I said, again comes to the captaincy. If you see the bowling unit, Christian 2 overs 12 runs, Washington Sundar 2 overs 13 runs, Chahar 24 runs.
Very good for
And the people who get the full quota is who's given a run rate more than 10 runs. So leave Harshal because Harshal got the 3 wickets and the last over he got smashed. But you can understand the pitch was with the bowling unit. You can understand the pitch was slow. You had the spinners with you. Daniel Christian was picking up the pace for you. Why aren't you using it?
But so, Punter, to your point, right? Just because Harshal got 5 wickets last or first game, doesn't you have to adapt? You have to change. That's my point. Kohli can read the situation and bring in Christian instead of Harshal. Like he can totally do that. It doesn't have to be the case because it's a T20 game, short format. You don't have to do all this.
I also feel he just completely missed his length today. Like normally he was getting those balls dipping in the Yorker. He just missed the slot, and it was just working in Jadeja's favor. Sorry, and I think it's just a bad day for him in that sense. But I agree with your points there about the captaincy, especially on that day when the bowlers are doing well. Pick and choose. But I just feel with Harshal Patel, it was just an off day. Vinay, you want to say something? Okay.
I'm
You're
just
really
on
happy
the road,
today.
man. Delhi's winning all the games.
Vinay is happy to win.
Vinay is happy to win. But I must say,
I think
what a show by Jadeja. Oh my God.
Unbelievable.
Something unbelievable.
Yeah.
Day of cricket.
Two questions, just very quickly. Is Jadeja the best all-rounder in the world? Quickly, all three of you, Vinay first.
Currently, I would definitely rank him in the top 3 because of his confidence and everything that he's actually showing in his game too. So definitely one of the top contenders.
So who's first if he's second?
Ben Stokes still first.
That's all. That's all I was asking. But
It's Jadeja.
You have to understand, Stokes comes in a different situation versus Jadeja. I think Jadeja is far better fielder than Ben Stokes any day. Like in my opinion, But Musti, yeah, I think I would make him the best all-rounder right now.
Because he's proved it in the Test cricket as well in the Australia series.
Time and time again. I think he's just an outstanding player. He can make a difference like in one way, shape, or form. And when he makes the difference just with fielding too, he wins the matches. It's not like he's just contributing and you don't win the match. Like he's a match winner. So I would rate him like as the best all-rounder in my opinion.
Yeah, 100%. Aman Gill saying big difference we saw at the toss. MS reading the situation and conditions way better than Kohli. Yeah, Punter mentioned that. Also, Aman was he messaged on the down the track page saying that Harshal Patel was more effective in Chennai pitches. Here he needs to do something different. His slower balls and stuff are now working, so he needs to be a bit different. I think that's a good shout. Very quickly, tomorrow Punjab versus KKR. Will KKR turn it around, Kumi?
I hope so. They were my top 4 side, so I'm hoping that they turn the tables. Look, they're a quality side. I think Punjab obviously still has long to go. They're still figuring things out. So I'm hoping that KKR will come on top tomorrow. Just because like looking at their balance between spin and the pace attack and the batting. So I'm hoping that KKR turns the tables tomorrow.
Yeah, and Vinay, who's winning? You have amazing predictions. You told me Manish Pandey is going to win it for Sunrisers and this and that. Who's winning tomorrow?
Where's the game?
Narendra Modi Stadium, Ahmedabad.
I think Punjab is going to take it tomorrow.
Take it where?
Take it and go.
Okay.
Take it and go.
Vinay, who's going to be the man of the match tomorrow? If you get that right, you get a present.
Maybe KL Rahul.
Yeah, Punter, who's winning tomorrow, KKR or Punjab?
Tough call because you don't know how Ahmedabad's wicket is going to play. If it's going to turn, then KKR. If not, then Punjab has a better power and batting power strength. So depends on the wicket.
I just want to see like Puran hit 100 of 20 balls and Russell 100 of 18 balls.
I am waiting that since ages now. I think all my beard will become white. He scored 1 run in 3 matches. So I don't know. I'm waiting for Puran.
You're waiting for Puran. Yeah, no, I just want to. I'm really getting tired of cricket. I think it's getting too much for me. I need to take a break from it, especially after today's game. Very heartbreaking, but I want to see some big runs tomorrow. Just last few comments. Aman is saying, Kumi, my favorite team is Mumbai, but I will love to see MS lifting the trophy. And Ashish is saying he removed KL Rahul from his fantasy team. They predicted it. But yeah, guys, thank you so much for joining me. I think it was a cracker of a game. The last one, unfortunately, it went in Vinay's favor, not mine. But still, a really exciting game. It's good to see a super over always in the IPL. Any last thoughts?
All good. I think Mushti, Sunrisers can turn it around, man. I think just keep believing in them, and if it's the next 2 games, then let them back up Priyam Garg and Abhishek Sharma.
Yeah, I was gonna say that. Priyam Garg, these guys, let them back and do what MS did kind of last season, like promote some youngsters, try it and see if it works. The one thing I would say is that even if they don't make it to the playoffs, like the games that they've lost, haven't lost badly, so they can always learn from that. But at the same time, you want your team to win, so hopefully they start winning.
Yeah. Get Manish Pandey back instead of Virat Singh, please.
I don't know, man. Like they're both doing the same thing. They need. I would just go Priyam Garg to do something different, or just bring Suchit, promote him down the road.
I hope Samath is fit and he comes back.
Yeah, I mean, Natarajan is out. Bhuvi was also not fit today. He was injured. So that's not an excuse. They still made the playoffs last year with all those injuries. It's just a few things they need to do different. But I think a positive is Suchit. I think he's a great player. I think he's going to win the number 1 ranking in ICC next year.
Musti, question to you. For Natarajan, who are you going to take as a replacement now?
Who's available from the market or right now in the team?
No, in the market. Like, who are you going to bring in?
I don't know who's. I really don't know who's available, to be honest with you. I'll have to go and check.
Would you get a
I don't really think they'll have to. I don't think they have to go. They have Basir Tampi, they have Sandeep Sharma, they have Indian bowlers in the wing. So already, like Siddharth Cole doesn't work, bring in Sandeep Sharma, try him out, especially if the pitches are conducive to swing. Why not? He bowled really well last season. So I would like to see Sandeep Sharma back in the team.
Maybe
No, I'm
trade
saying
Tendulkar.
Yeah, but
Sunrisers,
you give me options. You're saying, but I
no,
don't know
no.
who's
I'm saying
available.
I'm asking you, like, in terms of a player, if you had to bring someone in now that you have an option available for Natarajan, right? Who would you bring in? Like, it doesn't matter if it's an Indian bowler,
Vinay Hariharan.
whoever.
I wouldn't bring a foreign player because we have enough of those, bro. There's only 4 allowed. We have enough of those foreign players. We can't even fit like Nabi, Mujib. They're all waiting in the wings. So I wouldn't play. Jason
Jason
Roy is
Holder,
waiting.
maybe.
Jason Roy, Jason Holder. We have every freaking international player. First of all, I think IPL need to abolish this foreign rule and let us play all our players, man. Yeah.
who's Mitchell Stark with this year, or is he
No,
He's
injured?
not-
he backed out.
No,
He was
he backed up.
Oh, he backs out.
That was also a very good point. Kumi, they had Mitchell Stark as well, RCB. Very good point you reminded me. So they've had good teams in the past also. You're saying the team looks good today. It does look good, but they've had good teams in the past. So that's why, just backing up my point
Oh,
over
no,
there.
of
But
course. I agree with you. I think they need to win when it matters. I'm 100% with you.
well, yeah. But yeah, it's, like you said, it's only one loss. And right now, it looks good. Hopefully, we'll see more games. And yeah, Vinay, anything you want to say?
No, I'm good.
All right, man. Thank you so much. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It was a lot of fun. It was a detailed talk, but great fun, man.
I think Kumi can play IPL though.
Cool. Oh, by the way, Kumi, the Kevin Williamson's innings reminded me of your innings last season. We lost a game together, but you made like 50 or Punter was captain at that time. So it reminded me of that. But in that, you weren't that critical of us. You were more supportive. You said we tried hard and stuff.
No, for me, one game is okay, right? But
No, I get you.
I like the thing is the reason why I'm being critical on the middle order is because
No, I get you.
right? And the thing is, look, Musti, to your point, I know there are games one out here and there, but these players, when they practice, they're not practicing straight drive and cover drive, right? Like they're practicing match situations. They're practicing how to win in critical situations, and that's what they're not able to put to good use, and that's what irks me the most. As much as I'm a CSK fan, man, somewhere deep down, somewhere in the heart, I am from Hyderabad. So
No, I like that. I like that passion. No,
understand that it does hurt me when I see like SRH, but when CSK does so well, then it kind of covers those wounds.
yeah, no, I completely agree with that. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and I hope to catch you guys soon. Yeah, take care.
Thanks, guys. Bye.